Pope Francis digs deeper into the roots of Chile's sex abuse scandal by meeting Saturday with a group of priests who were victims of abuse. One expressed confidence in the Holy Father. Father Eugenio de la Fuente and another priest providing support to the group spoke to journalists on Saturday night. De la Fuente was abused by Father Fernando Caradima, a powerful preacher in Chile who abused young parishioners. For more on this, we're joined by Vatican correspondent Juliet Linley, who joins us from Rome. Juliet, what can you tell us about the meeting between the Holy Father and those victims?
Wyatt, the Pope told the victims to focus on the future rather than on the past and to help preserve unity in the Church. The victims say the Pope listened and consoled them at length and that their 4-hour meeting with the Pontiff was longer than expected. One priest says the Holy Father was empathetic and that he was very much impacted by his pain, and that Francis has a deep understanding of the problem and clear ideas of how to move forward. Now, Francis invited the group to stay at his residence in the Vatican at Santa Marta, and he said Mass with them in the morning before holding the meetings.
Wow, I'm still thinking about the fact that the meeting was 4 hours long. Tell us more about Fernando Caradima, who's at the center of the scandal.
Indeed. So Father Fernando Caradima ran a parish that served the upper classes in Santiago, in Chile, in the 70s and 80s. Now, the parish generated 30 priests and 4 bishops before Caradima was removed from ministry. Caradima was found guilty of sexually and psychologically abusing young parishioners by the Vatican in 2011 and was sentenced to a lifetime of penance and prayer. But Caradima was never tried, nor was he convicted in a civil court of law, Wyatt. And the Bishop Juan Barros was one of them, at the center of the media firestorm in January after Francis forcefully defended him against allegations that he knew of the abuse that was being perpetrated by Caradima. Now, the Pope then admitted that he had been mistaken.
Okay, so now looking ahead, what do you think is next for the Chilean Church? I mean, has the Vatican promised action?
Well, the Vatican says that it hopes to help heal the divisions that the scandal has created in Chile's church. And church leaders say they want to help rebuild healthy relationships between priests and their flock. Quote, once they become conscious of their own wounds. Now, Wyatt, it's important to point out that last week Pope Francis became the first pontiff to publicly denounce a culture of abuse and cover-up in the Catholic Church, saying, never again, in inverted commas, in quotes. Now, all eyes are on the Holy Father to see what he will do about the Chilean bishops who have offered their resignations en masse. Pope Francis has not clearly made his decision public as yet.
And whatever decision he decides to make, it will take time, I'm sure, to heal those relationships between the Chilean clergy and the people there. Juliet Linley, EWTN News Nightly Vatican correspondent. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Wyatt.